Hey guys, JH. Welcome to Practice Tea. Okay, just something today that I think as a training process and a device I think this may help all those people trying to get the channel lock channel application, which is inside to out. I don't want to say in the extreme, but I guess it is in to out in terms of extreme change for most people. And at the end of the day, guys, channel lock is channel lock. You cannot get the channel lock ball flight unless you apply the correct channel lock mechanics. You can apply variations to it, but I promise you, you just won't have the ball flight and you won't have the consistency of strike or the consistency of accuracy that you will get with the correct channel lock mechanics. Now, one of the things that really is non-negotiable with channel lock is that you must hit into out. And you must feel like you're hitting into out. And you must feel like you're closed in your shoulder line when you're hitting into out. You have to feel that. More to the point, that has to happen in actuality in the golf swing. You have to have that directional line of attack on the golf ball. Otherwise, you really can't play channel lock as channel lock is designed to be played. So I see so many people having great difficulty getting that inside out attack path. Now, it's easy for me, and it probably looks easy for me because I've done it my whole life. From the first day I started playing golf, I had an into out swing path, and I basically always hit the ball with a draw ball flight. I never had a cut or a slice ever at any stage in my golf. From the first day I started playing, I've always just been someone that's hit into out. And something that I've had in my swing that is idiosyncratic to my golf swing and may shed some light on why I've always swung into out, just as a geometry application in my golf swing. And what I've always done in my golf swing, guys, is this. I've always had the club essentially inside the golf ball most of the time. With my driver, it's a long way in here. That's the golf ball, my driver's in here. It's as almost as if I'm addressing a golf ball that's 4 or 5 inches further this way. Now, I've always done that. And I guess maybe instinctively, I knew initially that in order to have a good golf swing, you had to swing into out. And you had to program yourself somehow to do that. And guys, what I've always done, because I've set the club up, and particularly in channel lock, I'm in here like this, I'm in close with my arms here, so the club is inside the golf ball. With the driver, as you see when I hit down the line, it's profoundly inside the golf ball. Now what is that? The knock-on effect of that is pretty obvious to me, and it should be for any of you guys that understand body geometry and what we're trying to do here. If I've got my club inside the golf ball here, it gives me a chance to fire the club and extend my arms significantly at the golf ball. If I'm here and I've locked out my radius and I've got any type of slack in my arms here, I've got to have that amount of slack in my arms when I hit the golf ball. Now I don't want to have that. I don't want to have any slack in my arm. But if I've got that radius there, and the radius is established with any type of slack in my arms, unless I do something dramatic on the downswing, and I want to get back to consistency of radius, I've got to have that amount of slack there. But guys, I can start off with some slack in my arms here, there, but because I extend my arms out, they're going to be straight when I hit the golf ball. And in order to get them straightening, I have to hit into out. Well, I have to. I've always done that. And that just keeps my shoulders closed. And that's probably why I've always hit a little draw shot. So what I'm suggesting here is that maybe you just hit a few shots where you get the club, set it up inside the golf ball here, and then fire it out to the ball here. Set it up in here, fire it out there. Try that. I think you'll find it hard to get over the ball when you've got the club set up inside the golf ball like this. I just think that would be hard to do. Yeah, so just set it up in here, guys. Now what's interesting, if you go back and have a look at the great Bobby Jones and have a look at some of his address positions with irons, that's how he set up. Bobby Jones set up like that. The club was inside the golf ball. I mean, it was only just off the toe of the golf club. Because Bobby went like that at the top of the golf swing. He crossed the line and had a big shoulder turn, and then he went really into out on the downswing. So he was really getting a lot of stretch with his arms, and instinctively he knew that he needed to propagate that into out action. So that's maybe why he always set up with the club here. Now just do that, guys. Just hit a couple of shots like that. Just get the club in here and just fire it out there like that. Have a look at your divot as soon as you do that. You'll see that the divot's into out because you're straightening your arms. You're going from, if you're someone that sets up with your arms perfectly straight here, you can still fire them out because the arms will stretch. Well, they don't stretch. I mean, this thing about muscle stretching, they don't stretch. They're fixed at certain points on bones. The only way you stretch a muscle is when you hyperextend it. That's the reality, but because there's fixed points where where muscles and tendons attach to bones, you don't really stretch. You'd have to hyperextend. So just try this, guys. Just see, I set up like this. Look, see my arms in here and my club's in here. But as I come down, I'm firing it. I'm straightening that arm. So just try that. Just get, you don't want a 5-iron, just get whatever, get a 9-iron or something. Just to get the feeling. And just set the club inside the ball, like that. That club's in here. And just fire the club out through the ball. Like that. Just feel like your arms are straightening. But the shoulders are not going forward. The body's not going forward. The only thing that's moving is those knees. Got that little shuttle in the knees. We're going here, here. The club chases that lead knee. Club chases that lead knee. Soggy knees is where it's at, guys. Absolutely, that's where it's at. Because the club, Mr. X is doing that now, and I've never seen, well, there's nobody here that hits the ball, comes here, that can hit the ball better than Mr. X is hitting it now. Nobody here. None of the tour players, none of them can hit it better than him. Because he's developed a soggy knee. He keeps the club on the ball forever. The club looks like this through the ball. It looks like Mo Norman told me he felt. Mo Norman said, I feel like this. And you do get that, guys, when you get that bent lead knee. No question. Just sit into a couple of shots like that. Now that's really into out. That's really, really into out. Just hit a couple of those. Just sit down into the shot and just really hit into out and have that club inside the ball. Here. That feels like the club's going way straight out there, almost towards the camera. Just to get that feeling, guys. You just hit some little half shots like this. It's just great. You feel like the club's just whooshing out there. And you get even with a 9-iron, you get that nice little draw shot with a short iron. Now that'll show you straight away, as soon as you start hitting draw shot short irons, you'll know that you're into out. And you've got to be into out significantly to do that. I call just kneeling on the ball, guys. Okay guys, that's just something that might help you. I know what the sun's like. I might come back and just hit a couple of shots down range here. I'll just check in the viewfinder there and see where my field of view is here. Okay guys, but try that. Try setting up the club inside the ball so that you've got to fire the club out to the ball. You'll feel like, oh, I can't reach that. But the way you reach it is you fire the club out to the ball, and invariably you fire it out from into out. Okay guys, try that. It works.